President Kenyatta's reaping the just concluded elections has been described as phenomenon. His Jubilee party scooped 139 MP positions, 25 women rep positions and 25 positions in the Senate. Friendly parties such as Maendeleo Chap Chap, KANU, Economic Freedom Party and others bring the number of legislators affiliated to President Kenyatta's camp to 187 in the National Assembly. The numbers for Jubilee are further spruced up by the nomination of 10 of the 16 nominated senators and 6 of the 12 nominated members of the National Assembly, with ODM getting 7 senators and 3 members of the National Assembly respectively. The party also scooped 25 gubernatorial wins compared to ODM's 13, ANC's 2, Wiper's 2 and Ford Kenya's 1. It therefore didn't come as a surprise that the president has heavily relied on Jubilee Party's electoral successes to mount his defense in a case in which the National Super Alliance, NASA, has challenged the declaration by IEBC that he won the August 8th general election. But as the country awaits the ruling of a Supreme Court, a storm has kicked off with a section of legislators keen on overturning SRC pay proposals. The president's statement yesterday perhaps the clearest indication that legislators would have a very rough ride in Parliament if his win is upheld.
I am stating it now, even as I wait for the Supreme Court to rule. If it rules in my favor, I am saying before you, I swear I shall not sign that law. We must understand that we are called to serve our people, not to earn from them. You knew the salary. Kuna mtu ambaye hakujua mshahara ile ambaye atakuwa akipata akiwa mheshimiwa.
Analysts argue that a huge burden rests on Kenyatta's shoulders in terms of steering the country forward in respect to the wage bill conversation, owing to the command Jubilee has in both houses of parliament. Lawyer Mokua Dubi and political analyst John Ndege argue that the president can rein in on his troops to frustrate the revival of a pay increase debate if his win is upheld by the Supreme Court.
This will not be the first time that the Jubilee will be whipping its members to toe the line in a position that had been previously been taken by the members, which was different from the president. So we are most likely going to see that members of the Jubilee coalition will toe the line.
If it's a bill, some MP or the government has to put it into the session, on the floor of the House. So if it is supposed to be a Jubilee bill, then the president, being the party leader of Jubilee, has all the powers to actually rally his troops and they say this is not our bill. Then that leaves the bill to be a private member's motion bill or an opposition bill.
The choice of the people to occupy key positions in the leadership of Parliament, the analysts argue, will also be critical in the wage bill debate.
It really rests with the Jubilee side, because Jubilee has a majority, and if it's a private member's motion, if Jubilee collectively decide to reject the motion, then that's it. It's dead before it has started.
Whom will Jubilee appoint as their whip? And this now brings into focus that this particular person should be a person who will be able to whip the members, along with the leader of the majority. They should be able to tell the members that whenever this is the party position, they should toe the line.
The National Super Alliance has announced that it will be holding a meeting early next week to decide whether or not its members will participate in the swearing-in ceremony scheduled for Thursday, as gazetted by the president, until the Supreme Court delivers its ruling. And with the history of acrimony that has existed between Jubilee and the opposition in the 11th Parliament, the duo say NASA is unable to cause a quorum hitch with its numbers.
The calls by NASA not to participate in the swearing-in ceremony, it's a tall order. First of all, you need to understand that Parliament is both the Senate and the National Assembly. So for the Senate, the quorum requires 15 members, which Jubilee has more than 15 senators. On the National Assembly, on the other hand, if you look at Article 121, a quorum consists of 50 members. Jubilee has more than 160. So whether or not NASA MPs attend the swearing-in ceremony, the quorum will be reached.
And unfortunately for NASA, this time around Jubilee has at least more than half the sittings in the National Assembly. And that's very significant. So them not being in the House may not make business not go on. But it will just be a show to maybe their supporters and to the rest of the world that business is being conducted with only a Jubilee-sided parliament. But life will go on. The parliament can actually move in. They have a comfortable majority.
However, Ndege and Dubi won. There are instances when the Jubilee side will need to reach out to the opposition for the interests of country.
From what you have seen since the last parliament is that you can actually induce an MP from the opposing side to actually support your motion. And then if their side tries to remove them from party positions, the government side can still actually try to oppose that. There were some changes in standing orders which made any decision when it comes to committees to be discussed in the plenary, as opposed to in other democracies where that really rests with the party that nominates those persons.
The only time perhaps NASA can cause a quorum hitch is when we have a constitutional amendment, because that way 2/3 of the members will be needed to be in attendance. This translates to 233. Jubilee might not get that number.
John Jacob Curia for Channel 1 News.